Bonjour. And what's this? It's Easter Sunday, and look at that sky. That is, I wouldn't mind being on that plane up there, mind you, but I'm close enough on this thing. This is like an aeroplane. Gonna go and meet my mate for breakfast, and then gonna go out for a ride this afternoon. I can't waste a day like this. Winter's been too long leaving us, so make the most of it, eh? I'm a bit early actually, but I'll take the long way round, give the bike a warm up. Right, here we go. Turn that little thing down a bit. Wave at me mum, 43 years old, and she still worries about me every time I sling my leg over this bike. Bless her. One day I'll get her on the back of it. I won't find the life out of her, but I'll just show her that they're actually not Widowmaker death killers. It's just a piece of plastic and metal which only does what you ask it to do. Mums worry about us on our motorbikes. They all do. They wouldn't be human if they didn't, would they? Look at this weather. I'll get used to this. Oh dear. I'm going to waffle on a little bit now. I'm going to talk about my personal opinion of the all-year biker service, where they clean your bike and spray it with ACF 50. I went and had mine done on Saturday, 2 days ago. I wasn't that impressed, if I'm honest. I thought it was a bit amateurish. I thought it was a little bit... slow down here. This is where I got done for speeding before, and I was only doing 40 mile an hour. Yeah, a bit amateurish. I expected a geezer to look a bit professional, you know, even if it's just a silly little bit of a uniform and a van. Instead, he was working out the back of an estate car, and he looked like he was just a hobby bike washer. He didn't look like a pro. I didn't stand there watching him do it because I'd seen enough videos on YouTube of what's done and whatever, so I just left him carry on. But what I had done is take the side panels off the bike beforehand, basically because my concern was more about what I can't get to when I clean it myself than what I can get to. I can keep on top of. I ain't got to worry about that. I thought, well, I'll get it all. The service is a complete clean down to, get it spotless, and then coat everything up that can rust or can go manky with ACF 50. Go on, Mr. Dog Walker. Yeah, don't you rush. I'm paying the 60 quid really for the ACF 50, but while I'm at it, they're cleaning the bike, and the bike weren't dirty anyway, really. But I didn't stand there watching the fellow. I know what it's like to have someone watching over you while you're trying to do your job. You feel like telling them to piss off. So I went in and then the dealers and started talking to the Honda salesman and had a good old chit chat. I could have only been in there for 45 minutes or so, bearing in mind that they say, oh, you've got to allow 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours for the bike. I come back out about 45 minutes later. The geezer said, yeah, I'm nearly done. So either he was in a rush or whatever, but I know my bike weren't minging anyway, and he said you made it easy for me because you took the panels off, and I thought, well, yeah, fair enough. But that weren't a problem. I wouldn't really care how long he took, as long as he'd done it properly. But when I got the bike back home and had a proper look at it, what plastics were left on it were filthy rotten underneath still. The front wheel was still filthy rotten. Basically, the fella, all he had was a paddock stand to lift the bike up, lift the back end of the bike up, and you'd think you'd get the whole bike off the ground, get front and rear, and spin the wheel, do it properly. But my front wheel was firmly planted on the ground at all times, and it was still filthy dirty when I put my finger on it. I did put it on video. And I think if you're paying 60 quid, if the geezers turn around and gone, well, you know what, the customer, being me, has made life easier by removing the fairing panels, well, I thought he'd have used the time to make a bit more of an effort with the rest of the bike. Because he obviously ain't looked hard enough, because why was I on my hands and knees still cleaning shit that was still dirty? You shouldn't have to do that, not when you pay someone 60 quid to do it for you. So I weren't impressed. And the other thing I'm not particularly impressed about, and if this appears on YouTube then nothing's changed since, is I went onto their website and I thought, I ain't going to put a YouTube video up and slag them off and whatever, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, I might have been unlucky and the geezer had a bad day and whatever, I don't know. All the other, you know, everyone else seems to rave about it. However, so I went on their website and put an honest review as to what I thought. I didn't coat them, I didn't absolutely slag them off and say they're shit and they're all a load of, well, you know, I won't swear. But I didn't. I was honest and said that, you know, I thought it was a little bit substandard and I wouldn't be going back. Blah blah blah. And when I've gone on the website at a later point and looked for my review, because it did say the review's been submitted and it ain't appeared. So now I do wonder whether or not every review on there seems to be a 5-star. Oh, best thing since sliced bread review. So I do wonder whether or not they hand-pick their reviews to suit themselves. If my review, if it's just because it's the weekend and no one's had the chance to post, you know, press the necessary buttons to make it live, I don't know. If it appears, I will I'll do no more. But you know, if it doesn't, then this is going on YouTube, because I think people should have an honest. You shouldn't only see the good. You should definitely get a chance to see the people who are not exactly happy. And if I'm honest, if you're one of these people who's a little bit, you ain't got to be clued up with a spanner, have you? Take a bit of plastic off your bike. But if you're not frightened of undoing a few Allen head fasteners and taking some plastics off your bike or whatever, or you've got a naked bike for that matter, really, do you need to pay them to do your bike? Nah, you do it yourself. Alright, so you ain't going to have the fine misting capacity that their spray things have, but them spray things ain't there. You can buy them at 25 quid. Right, you need a little compressor as well, so alright, maybe you can't buy them 25 quid, but you know, it ain't like it's high-tech equipment. So, yeah, and you know, so if you spray it on a bit heavy duty with a can, like it comes out the cans, and you know, it doesn't come out the cans as fine as they do as the stuff they use. Well, you can get a rag and wipe it round. It ain't hard. It really ain't hard at all. And they go on about all this. Oh, when it hits the surface, it creeps and covers everything. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that in its entirety, because nothing creeps uphill. You know, if they can't get to a bit, they can't get to a bit. That's why I took my plastics off, so that everything was exposed. You know, so you know, I think it's a little bit bamboozling people with science and whatever. Alright, yeah, I went for it. I thought to myself, you know, I don't mind paying 60 quid if my bike's going to come out of the shop like it out of there, like it's just come out of the shop. And it come out clean. It was all right. It weren't. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was rotten. It didn't look like a bag of crap. But the geezer spent an hour and a quarter on my bike tops, and there were still bits of it that were dirty. Bearing in mind, I didn't present it with a dirty, filthy, rotten bike in the first place. I thought he'd have done a better job. Just my honest opinion. You know, take it or leave it, but you know, do it yourself. Spend 2 hours, 3 hours on the bike, do it yourself. That's what I would do, because you know, it ain't rocket science, it really ain't. Anyway, I'm going to go and have some breakfast with my mate, and then I'm going to go out for a ride in the country. I shall see you later.